Hello everyone, I'm Dark X Breeze, and today we'll be briefly reviewing Shazam! Fury of the Gods, more like Shazam! Fury of the God. Before I continue, I would like to say that there are spoilers, so if you still want to watch and you haven't watched the movie, there will be spoilers, like I said, and you have been warned. Shazam! Fury of the Gods is just a classic superhero movie. It doesn't really do anything different or unique from the other superhero movies, which is completely fine, but I thought I'd bring that up. The main plot isn't bad, but it is pretty forgettable. I don't really remember what it was about, but it was interesting, but yeah, pretty forgettable. There was a handful of interesting characters, and then the rest were just in there in the background. More for like comedic effect and stuff like that, not much involvement. I will say that I was happy to see the actor for Jerry was a part of the film, even though he had barely any involvement. There are three sisters. Two of them want the golden apple to restore their world, and the other one wants the golden apple to restore their world, but destroy Earth at the same time. That's where the Fury of the Gods part comes in. And her motives for wanting to destroy Earth make complete sense. What confuses me is why the other two don't want to destroy Earth. It's just this one sister. And they don't really explain why the other two sisters don't want to destroy Earth. They just don't want to destroy Earth, and that's just really convenient for the other heroes. I think the only reason why they called it Fury of the Gods and not Fury of the God was to just avoid spoilers, which I understand. I believe the only reason they wrote Fury of the Gods instead of Fury of the God was to avoid spoilers, so I do respect that and I understand. They could have just wrote the other two sisters better, and why they're not wanting to destroy Earth. Another problem with this movie is the staff. It shoots a beam that will take your powers away, as long as it actually hits you. And there are times where the beam is super accurate. And then there's other times where you can just move a tiny little bit, and the beam will completely miss you. It doesn't make any sense. Just bad directing or something. If I'm not wrong, like the kid in crutches dodged it easily, but then this girl, the sister, a god, was doing everything she could to get away from it, and it just does a bunch of 360, 180 turns and just hits her. Make it make sense. Anyways, let's talk about more problems with the film. Hey mom, dad, we need to leave now. By the way, I'm a superhero, and the world's about to get destroyed, and I also might die. And these parents are just like fine with this. Like, they're surprised for a solid 2 minutes, and after they escape the dragon, they just never talk about it. They just go on with the plot like they knew this whole time or some shit. And then when Billy tells his whole family that he might have to sacrifice himself, they're all just standing there, including the dad, just standing there like, damn. They don't even say anything. The only person that actually seems like they care is the mom and Freddy. You'd at least think that dad would be as emotional as the mom is, but nah, he's just standing there. The CGI was pretty good most of the time, but it was also nothing special. The movie is very entertaining. I wasn't bored at all watching it. The sister that was very mad and wanted to destroy Earth, the main villain, was very great, amazing villain. I think they did very well with her character and utilized her when they needed to, and when necessary. The acting for the movie was amazing, it was astonishing. And even though I didn't really care about the characters in the movie, the compelling scenes genuinely pulled on my heartstrings. And that was purely because of the acting. Most of the jokes were forgettable. Sometimes I wouldn't even realize that some of the jokes were jokes until I thought about it. There was only a couple decent jokes in there. It doesn't feel like they're going overboard with the jokes or anything like that, so I appreciate that. And I thought the ending was pretty good. Anyways, that concludes for this review. Rating this off of my personal enjoyment, enjoyability, immersion, the impact, the jokes, and CGI, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. And then when I rate it off of plot, originality, creativity, characters, character development, filler, dynamics, and direction, I'm going to give it a 7.5. I think my rating for that may be a bit generous, but in some of those categories, they did a really great job. So that's why I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. And now, overall rating, I'm going to give it an 8.7 out of 10. I think that's pretty well deserved. It was a really good movie, but not great. That concludes for this review, everyone. Please consider liking and subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next one.